What is up, everybody? Welcome to Geeks of the Round Discussion Vidcast. I'm your executive producer, DeAno Jackson. We are, of course, here to talk all about episode 611 of The Walking Dead, Not Untie. We actually have a pretty good panel today, so let me go ahead and introduce everyone, starting off, of course, with our editor-in-chief, Matt Moore. Matt, what did you think of this episode, Matt?
It's a pretty good panel. We got Todd, and that's awesome because we hardly ever get Todd. But we also have Isaiah too, so that kind of neutralizes that. But you're here, so there's that. But then we have Lou, and that kind of neutralizes that. So then there's me. Oh, okay, yeah. I guess it is a good panel.
You need me.
I suppose so. Todd, how about you, man? It's like, how you doing, man?
Good. Hopefully don't have technical issues, which has been what's keeping me from here.
Fingers crossed. Lou, how's it going?
As I'm having issues, by the way. My whole desk is falling apart as I say this. I tried to play it cool.
Yeah, we'll stop doing that. Lou, how's it going, man?
I'm good. This episode was great. I love the portrayal of Gregory. Comic book accurate.
Interesting. And last and, well, least, Isaiah, how's it going?
Hey, and I have to agree with Lou. I really liked this episode a lot. It was pretty much almost better than the premiere, like not premiere, but starting up this. Yeah,
the mid-season premiere.
It's almost better, but it was still good.
Well, it's like I was just kind of surprised that we hit Hilltop already.
I'm happy. I'm happy as a mug. Like, yay, Hilltop.
Oh, I'm very, very happy. It's like the reason that I was surprised is that normally The Walking Dead has what I consider to be pretty serious pacing problems.
Yeah.
It kind of muddles around too long. For the second half of season 6, they don't seem to be doing that. It's like, I mean, things are boom, 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 boom. And I think that time jump was really monumental in that. And
right.
If things keep going at this pace, I think this last half of the season is going to be quite good.
Yeah, I can't wait for the last episode.
This was issue 96, so we still got 4 issues to go till we get to that climactic ending. So you'll get your nice slow pace here in the next probably 2 episodes.
Well, that's just it. Is knowing The Walking Dead, like after that first episode to the second episode, knowing The Walking Dead, they could have spent the next 4 episodes literally just looking around trying to find Carl's eye. Like
yeah,
that's
pretty much
the main story.
This is true.
They've done that kind of shit before. They'd be like, like, did you check the north lawn? It could have flown all the way over there. Like, that's the kind of shit they pull.
Or just have them wondering through what's going on.
At least they didn't spend the whole. At least we didn't spend the whole episode driving to Hilltop.
Oh, thank you, God.
Like Jesus said, they're a day away, but that was a quick day.
Yeah, and so out there, Jesus is a really cool character. He's one of my he's one of my favorite characters in comic books, and so the TV show is doing him very well, very, very well.
His hair is straighter than Matt's.
Yeah, pretty much, and pretty much Jesus makes the whole crew of Ricks kind of like chumps. Like, damn, he escaped all those like being tied up and everything else. Like, man, he escaped everything. He even went to their house. He checked the weaponry too. Like, man, he went to there and there. Does anyone have any security? Good Lord, he was like everywhere. So it was cool.
Well,
I'm on the other end of the fence with Jesus here. I actually don't like him very much, and I think he's a pale imitation of his comic counterpart. And what he did to Rashon was borderline rapey.
What?
He didn't have to.
Michonne.
When he walked in on them naked in bed, he didn't have to do that. The wise move would have been to get out of their prison, leave, and then send a pigeon back. You know, come back some way, get in touch with them. Not sneak in their room while they're naked and be like, hey, we got to talk, nice bits.
Rick and Michonne actually lobbied to be naked in that scene, and that was actually taken out of the comic book. If you recall, Andre and Rick boned right before Jesus walked in on them.
Well, that was Carl, though. Not Jesus, it was Carl.
It was
Jesus.
Really?
Yeah, it was Carl, not Jesus.
It was Carl. It was Jesus, not Carl.
It was Carl because Carl didn't knew Andrew and Rick was together. It was like, oh, hey, Dad. Like, oh.
Just like he didn't know Rick and Michonne were together. While he's holding the gun at Jesus' head, he's like, okay, well, this is cool, whatever.
Yeah, but that's from TV's perspective. The comic book is a little bit like it's like simple. This was more interesting though.
Yeah, it's like one thing I want to say is like I'm definitely happy that they don't have Carl being a little bitch about his dad and Michonne hooking up. That was actually kind of concerned of mine that last week. It's like after he eventually found out that the whole teen angst thing that they're kind of doing a little bit. It's like I didn't want that to rear its ugly head here because I find it irritating, and it didn't. So the writers are actually making me happy for a change.
Well, to be fair, Carl was never adamant or too much angry when Rick was with Andrea, so he was pretty much like accepting because he thought of her as his mother. Same thing goes for like Michonne. He thinks of her as his mother now, so he's okay with that.
I don't know if I agree with that.
He is okay with it because his counterpart now, bitchy Carl, we will never see again.
Nope.
You're gonna see rough and tough Carl going forward.
Yep.
And if he does call Michonne mom, that's because he did lose his memory slightly, and they didn't touch on it too much when he was
Not gonna.
Well, if they do or they don't, whatever.
It'll still be
It
nice.
is what it is. But you saw how
But he
cute and
loved
cuddly.
her. That's
Rick and
the end result.
Michonne in the RV were nice and cuddly.
Yeah, but it's like I'm not sure that I agree that that Carl looks at Michonne like a mother. It's like he's definitely formed a bond with her, but it's like I not altogether certain it's like a motherly bond.
Yeah, I
But
think.
would you say he loves her?
Yes.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
think he loves her in an inappropriate way.
Okay.
No.
Only Matt.
Yep.
Yeah, only fucking Matt.
What? I don't know. He's had a lot of bonding moments with her, and he is still a young adults, even maybe described as a kid. And emotions are kind of wacky when you're that age as a boy.
Yeah, but he still.
I really don't see them going in that direction, though.
Yeah, he still sees her as a mother figure because they've been through a lot. After prison, he needed her the most, just like Rick. He needed Rick, but he also needed like someone like a strong female character in his life, which is Michonne. So that's why that's why that bond is so unique.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So I actually found the comic book panel, and it was Carl that walked in on Rick and Andrea. I'm looking at.
Oh.
Yeah.
I still think Jesus was better. Fuck Carl.
No, really, it was. No, that's what I said. I agree with you. Jesus was a little bit better than Carl because this just, it just happened like, oh, okay, hey. But this was like more interesting. It pushed the Hilltop storyline even further, so it was better.
Yeah, definitely. and
So
Hilltop was already
before we get to
go ahead, Matt.
Hilltop, before we get to Hilltop, can I just say that for what should be creating a supply line, you had almost every single one of the fighters in that fucking RV leaving the city like unprotected.
No, that's okay though. Everyone knows how to fight though.
Not like the guys that were in the RVs.
Yeah, but
Yeah, there was a time skip. Remember, there was a time skip, so they could have got better.
No, but remember, Sasha was still back there. Sasha was still at the camp. Morgan and Carol.
Oh yeah,
And Rosita.
Sophia was there too.
Who the fuck is Sophia, dipshit? Sophia's dead. You're talking about
whatever,
Rosita.
Rosita, Sophia, who gives a fuck?
One's dead and the other one's fucking Abraham.
Exactly. No one cares.
Well, I think Abraham would rather be fucking Sasha.
Yes.
Exactly. That was so
Yes, he
obvious.
would.
Yeah, that's taking a place out of the comic. Instead of the one Alexandrian that was still alive, they're making it Sasha.
Yeah, which I think is more better because they're readjusting the characters to fit the roles, but also in a more interesting way. That's like how Michonne and Rick. I like this more than Andrea and Rick in the comics because that was like, okay, it doesn't make much sense, but here this makes perfect sense, like why they were together because they've been through a lot.
Actually, that brings me to something that I wanted to ask you guys that are more familiar with the comic books than me. From my understanding of how their relationship is in the comics, they're more like brother and sister than being in a relationship. Is it jarring to see them in a relationship here, or are y'all okay with that?
I'm very okay with that.
Yeah, that's just it. Is yeah, we've been leading up to this
Good.
for a while now.
Right, and plus it just
Like
fits.
what's her face? White bitch who's
White
got
bitch.
killed in front of her. Like she was, as far as I'm concerned, she was just in the way of
Right.
this.
It's okay, but I want to see what they do because Michonne was the hoe.
Yes, she was awful. She was really awful in the comic books.
They
I'm sorry.
kind of flipped it with Andrea, or with Andrea being the hoe, fucking the governor, and what's his name, Shane. So
They're bad guys.
it's flipped because now what happens when we get to the kingdom and Michonne's supposed to hook up with Urkel?
Tell me his name isn't actually Urkel, please.
I don't remember his
It
name.
is
He's called Urkel because he had a weird name that I can't pronounce.
It's
Okay.
not Ezekiel, but
Also, we're gonna miss the fact that Michonne fucks Morgan.
who cares?
But
Yeah, that doesn't interest me.
You're
her
right.
portrayal was she really did all the black men on the show.
Basically, she did. It was so off.
Well, once you go black, you never go back.
This is why I never liked her character in the comic books because I like when the show went on. The show was just 10 times better. When she was never talking, she was still better than the comic book one because she was just like Lou said, she was a whore, and she was just bitching and moaning to the very end. It's clear like later in the books that is. So I like this one better.
I mean, what they've done so far has been fine. They built it up. It ain't like
Right.
something that has just happened overnight.
Right.
Let's be real. Michonne has been on the show since what, season 3?
Yep.
Yes.
So she's had 3 years of being around Rick to kind of fall for him.
right.
So
Which
it's
is
cool. It's just let's see what they do going forward.
They're both survivors, though.
My thing is what happens with Carol because remember Carol is dead. Now does she replace Michonne's storyline as far as
Yeah, I think so.
hooking up with the kingdom leader and maybe hooking up with Morgan and then doing what Carol does best?
I don't know about that.
No,
I
I
mean,
wasn't
we've
worried.
had Carol on this show for quite a while now, and other than maybe a passing interest at Daryl, she has not shown at least not that I remember, romantic interest towards anybody.
Nope.
Nope. But so, and also
It's like
when
pretty much ever since that bullshit that happened with her husband.
right, but the main reason why Michonne was pretty much falling for the king in the comics in the first place, it was more than just a romantic feeling. It was pretty much building something, also creating something at the same time. Like in like what's that? Like how a king and a queen, like a brother and sister, but they marry each other. That type of situation.
Isaiah, here's to the point.
Yeah.
We're leading towards Michonne taking over the kingdom. Now, who does the show do to replace that storyline?
I say Carol because she's been good.
Because Carol's the only one who's left alive, and then Sasha's also made up.
Who cares
But
about Sasha?
Sasha could also take that place too. Because we already see in this episode, Maggie's getting groomed to go take over Hilltop.
Yeah.
And that would actually be pretty cool. I really like the idea that they are finally acknowledging something that only Deanne had acknowledged before, and that is Maggie needs to be in charge of some shit. She deserves it. She has earned it, just like her husband has. Like, fucking put them in charge of shit.
Right.
Yeah, she's good at it. It's like, I mean, the way that she negotiated this deal and kind of laid it down, it's like I was really happy because it seemed to me that for a while they didn't really have anything for Maggie to do.
Right. And
so it's like I'm really excited that her character is being put in a role that actually matters, where she's not
right.
just this background character anymore.
Right. And her character is getting more interesting, getting more creative. And you see she take on the politics side. It's like, oh, that's so awesome. And like we saw before, and she just pretty much handled like, you are working for us now. We don't work for you, you work for us because we got to take care of this one problem for you because you don't have much, anything. It's like, okay, fair enough. And this is actually applies to the comic as well, but this is like later, I mean, really later on, that Maggie becomes like a politician type ambassador. But here it's very much earlier and more. It's very much more building up to more greater things. So I can't wait.
What part of their grooming her to take over Hilltop don't you understand?
This was happening.
That's what that means.
It's happening faster, though. Deal with it.
It's not happening faster. It's all taking place page by page if you think about it. That bloody scene where Rick is eating blood is taken straight out of the comic book.
Well,
that guy stabbing Gregory was taken straight out of context of the comic book. Everything is taking place.
But that was more gruesome in the comic book.
Well, yeah, because now Rick, we figured out he loves to eat blood, dirty motherfucker.
Well, he's crazy Rick now. We love old crazy Rick.
Yeah, dude, you saw that shit? He's like, put your weapons down, or what? You gonna come at me with that fucking spear? I'll just shoot you right there, bitch. You ain't gonna move.
And this is the cool Rick I like. I love when Rick is pretty much crazy and just, he's still in control, but same notion, like, I'm fucking crazy. I'm badass. There's nothing you can do to me. I've been through everything so far.
Well, that's just it. Is we've got this situation going on where we kind of got like a Bruce Banner Hulk type of thing going on. You either have timid Rick basically, or you have full on fucking Hulk, and both of them are Rick. He's just, I think he's starting to get both of those sides and combine them into one person.
Well, he's starting to accept it, though. That's pretty much the whole thing.
Exactly. He's able to control his anger more. He's able to make decisions like, you know what? I shouldn't be the guy talking to him.
Right.
That's not a decision that Rick would have made a year ago.
Oh, yeah, it's like back in the dictatorship days.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I shouldn't be the one who talks to this guy. That's fucking...
That's huge for him.
Right. But the one thing about this Rick in general is pretty much his confidence will be his weakness, because he's very confident. Huh?
No doubt.
And that's how this freaking episode ended, was by him and being confident about himself and his crew that they can basically face anything now, and
which is
that's not the case.
Right, that was the biggest mistake he ever had. He done his pretty much his career in The Walking Dead. He's pretty much take something for granted, or just pretty much not thinking ahead. This happened before with the governor as well. Oh, that's pretty much different scenarios here, but you know.
Rick is thinking it out of the aspect of Jesus told them that they've only seen a crew of 20. So he's like, well, my crew could handle 20 people because, you know, whatever, we could take out that. But they forget, Negan has an army.
Yeah, he has 50-some dudes.
They didn't forget anything, dude. They don't know.
Oh, that's right. And also, sorry to interrupt you guys, but Jesus also mentioned that Negan killed a teenage boy who was 16 in front of him. It's like he killed him with a bat. It was like, oh, wow.
Well, they didn't say it was with the bat. As a matter of fact, they said it wasn't a bat, but they said that they killed someone right off the bat, but not with a bat.
No, he didn't say with the bat. He just said off rip. They killed the kid to prove a point. So what Jesus just did was plant the seed that the season finale, Glenn or Daryl is going to get their brains.
It's not going to be Daryl. I'm sorry.
It's Glenn. Glenn's gone.
Yeah, it's Glenn. And there's a reason why. I'll explain later on why it's going to be Glenn, not Daryl. I'll explain it.
Don't give me your bullshit reason like you did in the spoiler chat about it'll be more impactful. It actually won't be.
No, it's not just that, but it's also because you got pretty much, if you got strong people, right, you got strong people, so you take out the strong soldier. That doesn't do much for people. You take out the weakest person who hasn't done nothing to anybody. You take out that person who's the most innocent, and you're going to have that pretty much that fear, that repercussion that one of their friends could be the same way, could be killed in that fashion. So
my reasoning is actually more bullshit than his reasoning, if you can
What's your
believe
reasoning?
it. My reasoning is they have taken Glenn away from Maggie so many fucking times.
Right.
They just can't do it anymore before it starts to really piss us off.
Right.
So they're going to kill him.
Yeah, and plus Glenn, he's pretty much getting to that point where he just wants to start a family. He's not really being engaging. He is engaged to the community, but not like how Rick is, how Daryl is. He's pretty much staying more back, and he's getting himself more lackadaisical, if that makes any sense.
I mean, twice in this season alone, we've had Glenn basically die in Maggie's eyes.
Right. And he's been reckless, too. He's been very reckless in a couple episodes. Like, hey, you're reckless, dog.
Oh yeah, it's like that whole the whole way he saved Maggie is like, I mean, he should have been dead right then and there.
And also, pretty much him trying to save that guy who killed himself and landed on top. I forgot his name.
Nick.
Yeah. Other asshole. So yeah. He should have just left his ass like, dude, I'm gonna go, but nope.
Yeah,
I said I don't. The show is gonna do. It's gonna throw a curveball at us.
Yeah,
And
but that curveball's gonna land.
I don't see them pulling the Glenn card because we already experienced the Glenn death.
I agree with Lou on this one. It's like, I see where you other two are coming from, but I think that so many people at this point know that or think they know that Glenn's death is coming that they won't do it just for that reason alone.
Well,
you know what? Maybe they'll substitute him with Abraham.
Or maybe that is actually.
That I can say.
Well,
like Abraham basically ends up breaking up with Rosita, gets together with Sophia, and immediately ends up getting killed, fucking up Sophia even more.
Don't you mean Sasha?
Well,
I said Sophia again. Fucking, I blame Isaiah.
It's all fucking Isaiah's fault.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that type of Duke Nukem's death is coming, but it's more abrupt, which is fitting. It's actually abrupt.
What is more abrupt than fucking having your head bashed in with a baseball bat?
Arrow to the face.
Walking the perimeter with your love, Sasha, and you take the same crossbow that was stolen from Daryl and shoot you in the eye.
Yep. And it was kind of fucked up. It was like, man, that was a little rough.
Oh, but no, he was walking with Eugene, if I'm correct.
Yeah, he was walking because Rosita and Eugene started sleeping together, and Abraham didn't know until he saw them. So that's why it all brought to that situation.
Eugene got laid in the comics?
Eugene has not touched Rosita yet.
Yes, he did in the comics.
No, he didn't, dipshit. She's pregnant by another man.
No, she is actually with Eugene.
She's with Eugene, but she got pregnant by another man.
But she's sleeping with Eugene.
Okay, so she's pregnant with another man, but yet she's still sleeping with Eugene, right? And Eugene kind of confirmed that I haven't even touched her yet, but yeah, I'm okay to take care of the baby, even though I know it's another man's.
Please, I don't believe that nonsense. He's 9.
Well, you are.
But the reason why they got to use Glenn's death because like we all saw in the comic, it was very brutal. It was uneasy to watch. It really was. It's like oh. So if they show that type or pretty much mimic it, but not like overly exaggerate, but like mimic this type of that dramatic feel, that pretty much that terror and pretty much it was pretty much just like losing hope in the character, losing hope in the story in a good way.
If you go with Glenn, you've done teased his death already in the second or third episode of this season with him fucking falling down to the floor with the walkers and all. Dude, we've done seen Glenn die so many times that I don't care to watch Glenn die anymore.
But Lou, you're missing one point.
It doesn't have the same impact.
It doesn't.
Lou, here's one point.
No, there is no point.
Let him speak.
No one else.
Go ahead, Izzy.
It's true, Lou. We've seen Glenn have his own death multiple times, but again, Glenn has always escaped multiple times from those type of situations that are pretty much unrealistic. But when it comes to Negan and him, he tries to get out of that situation. He tries. But Negan just pretty much didn't give a fuck. He just pretty much he just does it. And pretty much how he picks him out, it's like, I'm not choosing no minorities over you guys, but he lied. He lied because he's tricked them to pretty much in false hope or false safety. Like, I'm gonna take out your heavy dude. Like, no, I'm gonna take out that small weak dude over there. That's pretty much how armies do, or pretty much how people who want to get fear into the strongest person. You kill someone who's pretty much the most kindest and most beautiful, the person who brings hope. Again, and Rick in the comic book said he looked at Maggie and Glenn as hope, as for humanity. He never told them that, but he always believed in that. So he feels very guilty. He never told them that in the comic books. Like, he felt he was very depressed and sad at that moment. So that's why Glenn's pretty much starts off something more than just his death, but something bigger, something just where Rick has to pretty much understand that he's not in charge anymore. He has to pretty much think before he acts, and this is where Rick becomes like, oh, okay, you don't want to see no one die, and you see Carl become more reckless and more dangerous due to this impact. He saw his friend pretty much being killed in front of him. You guys will do the same thing. You guys will pretty much go on a rampage to kill this one person who killed your family members or friends in front of your eyes in the most brutal way, right?
Like I said, I don't care.
I don't know. I zoned out pretty early on back at Eugene and Rosita.
Actually, it's like, I mean, that was a pretty solid argument.
Daryl will be more meaningful.
Not
No,
really.
you know what would be more meaningful? The most meaningful, and I don't think they have the balls to do it on this show, is for Negan to kidnap and kill Judith.
That would be too risky, and that would be no. That would be no.
No, especially when she was waving hi to Carl when they showed her this week. You know,
Right.
she's growing on me.
Yeah, I can't, man. Okay, killing kids is one thing, but not with Judith. I'm sorry. No.
And see, y'all's reaction to even the idea of it kind of proves Matt's point.
Right.
I don't think the show has the balls to do it, but it would be the biggest fucking impact. And while it would make some people not watch the show anymore, it would keep other people watching that normally would have been like, fuck this show.
But
Because there's no show that has that kind of balls.
Yeah.
Right, but this
Game
show
of-
which kills off people for no apparent reason, just pretty much to prove, that's pretty much boost the storyline. They killed Noah. They killed oh my goodness, Maggie's sister. Oh my god, I'm forgetting her name right now.
Dude, you're referring to people that weren't supposed to be as far as they were.
But that's pretty much besides the point. You're killing people just proves
Noah was a non-existent character. Maggie's sister was the mixture of like 3 fucking siblings, because Herschel he had his pecker going and his wife a lot, and they produced a lot of babies.
But how her death came about was so it was it felt right. It felt very tasteless. Like, why'd you do this? And it killed Noah for no apparent reason. Like, why'd you do this? This was so stupid. And so doing something
because he had no progress in the story. Noah's character was boring. He needed to die.
It could have been something better. It could have been something different.
He could have been better at what?
Anything. The writers chose not to do it.
Because he's a non-existent character. All non-existent characters die.
Like Sasha, she's not existent, but she's doing something great.
She's replacing a character, so I can see where they're going with Sasha. She could either take the place of Michonne, who was in the comic book, or she could take the place of Andrea, who was in the comic book.
So you're saying Noah? So you're saying Noah can't be a powerful character later on if he didn't die?
Who was he going to be?
Anybody, anyone.
But look at all the characters we have in the comic. Who could have Noah been?
Anyone.
He could have been. You know what? They could have sent him to Hilltop, and he could have been the blacksmith.
Oh, that would be cool. Oh yeah. Okay.
He could have been meaningful.
He could have been that. Let him go. Let him go. I'm just sitting here. It's like this whole thing is entertaining. It's like you get the two of them going, and you just kind of just sit back and watch them. It's fucking funny.
You're welcome.
Yes, you're welcome.
Oh, good God.
DeAno knew what the fuck I was about to do.
Oh yeah, I knew exactly what he's gonna do. All right, let's kick into wild speculation time.
Glenn is dead. We already said that.
Well, reiterating then.
Yes.
Yeah, it was pretty much. But how they play it off is gonna be really the biggest key. So if they play it off right, it's gonna be one of the best endings Walking Dead has ever had. Or they could fuck it up.
Yeah, Glenn is the safe choice, but they may substitute him for Abraham because they don't want to. That's just it. Is the show and for good reason has less balls than the comic book does, because of course they want to keep viewers. So they may not kill the dad to be. That being the case, I think it's Abraham next.
No, it's gonna be the dad. The writers like doing that.
As far as the whole Glenn thing is concerned, it's like for me, it's like that would be, I guess you could say, going to the well once too often. It's like you start getting this predictability in there. It's one thing that comic book fans know this thing is coming, but it's like, I mean, you got people that aren't even comic book fans that know his death is coming.
Yeah.
Or to think they know, because they've telegraphed it over and over and over again. So it's like that's either like really shitty writing, or they're going to do a swerve at the last second.
Yeah, but it's going to be really tricky though. It's going to be very, very tricky, and it'll be interesting how they play it out. But again, Glenn and Abraham do die. There's nothing to say about it. They're going to die.
They die. Well, Abraham dies next season. If they don't kill him off this season, he'll die next season.
Next season has to be really fucked up.
My question would be this: we know that there's 2 episodes. Well, there's 2 different endings shot for the season finale. Do you think they have a certain group in a room testing this shit to see which reaction they get better to go with?
No, I think that they may have shot multiple endings, so the ending cannot be spoiled.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah, so it's like a trick or root.
Well,
Yeah.
to all the fans out there, make sure they either set their DVRs to record the 9 p.m. version, because that's when you're going to see Negan in his truest form.
Yeah, and pretty much.
By Negan in his truest form, you mean he's going to use a cuss word.
He's going to be using the F-bomb every other word. If
Oh
they
my
keep it to
God.
the-
He's gonna cuss? Yeah, he's gonna set your DVRs! You've never seen anybody cuss before! Oh, fuck! It's gonna be amazing. This is gonna be
Oh, shit, you cuss!
fucking profanity and shit.
No, but I
when you
think
read
my
it, it's
speculation-
actually funny.
My speculation is when Rick's going on this journey, we still hear more stories about Negan. I know we're gonna hear this regardless, but it's gonna be more detailed than like the comic book because how they describe it, you see the look in their eyes, like, yeah, Negan, he's not one to be fucking around with. Like, don't fuck with him, man. Don't fuck with him. And you see so much build up. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. That's Rick saying. His friends like, oh shit, he has like 1, 2. Okay, he got a lot of men. Okay, I kind of fucked up. And so we might see more interesting developments here. Like pretty much gonna blame Rick, and Rick's gonna blame himself. It's gonna be really interesting how it all plays out. Like Rick always like depression from this.
It's
Like
going
what
to
he
be
did with his
funny
wife.
because next week we're going to get 2 people kidnapped, and I want to see how they react to that.
Right, and because you don't fuck with the saviors, you really do not, unless you got a good plan or a good army. Like, you gotta get yourself a good ass
They
army.
do not have a good plan right now. It's like, they don't know what they're walking into.
Right, and pretty much they say like, oh, we killed those couple guys back there. We used a rocket launcher. Like, okay, you did that because you got surprised. They have bigger surprise than you guys do because you don't know how many people they have, and you don't know they're about their leader. He's very smart. He's not just crazy. He's smart. He's more smart than the governor.
Remind me, that missile launcher had more missiles, didn't it?
Yeah,
That's
it
a
had
good question.
It had, I believe it had 4, and they've used 2.
I thought it had 6, but
I don't know.
4 sounds about right. I know they used 2 for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, shit, that's how I would fucking start. Is get up in a fucking tree, because you know there's no one patrolling outside. Get up in a fucking tree, take out a couple crucial buildings that you know what's-his-face isn't in, and hope that you kill enough people.
Isn't RPG heavy to carry up a tree?
You can carry it up a tree. It's not that heavy.
It's
You can wear it
not
like a
really that heavy
backpack.
at all.
And it has a strap.
Yeah, it has a strap. You can carry it like a backpack while you go up the tree.
Yeah,
Of
loaded
course, there's
RPG.
power, so you gotta be careful about that shit. But still,
Yeah. Yeah, loaded RPG weighs like what, around about maybe 20, 25 pounds, if that.
I was gonna say if that the rocket itself, I think, weighs about the same as the.
But a rocket's a little bit sensitive, or just pretty much they're just rockets themselves.
They're not sensitive in the slightest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I always wondered that.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like
I
you
don't
fire
think
one of them bad boys, be somewhere else, but
Right.
so it's not like you have to worry about, like, I mean, like if you could take one and, drop it, and it's not going to explode unless it's like the.
Yeah, I don't think the military would have built them to where if they dropped it, exploded. Because then, they'd have some klutzy-ass military guys that might drop it every now and
I
then.
don't know about all that. It's like
Also, when they shoot the rocket launcher,
theories, like, I mean, the one thing that you always had to remember is that all of your equipment was made by the company that bid it the lowest.
right? And plus, we should see shrapnel, correct, from a rocket launcher, from an RPG, correct? Shrapnel everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering because Sasha and Abraham didn't get no shrapnel. Like, hey, you guys get any shrapnel because you didn't hide that far.
Yeah, it's like any kind of explosion is going to have shrapnel, but it's not like it's a frag grenade where the shrapnel is the point, or like a claymore or something where the shrapnel is very, very, very much the point.
It's only the casing that's going to be flying around. In other words.
Exactly.
Just wanted to know.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's really what they need, Matt. Some claymores. That'll fuck people
Hey,
up.
they might got some claymores. You don't know what's in that truck?
Those
Official.
things don't fuck around. All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode of Geeks and Around. We have quite a few more episodes of The Walking Dead to go. And, of course, Geeks It Around will be with you every single step of the way at geeksitaround.com. Be sure to check us out on all of our social media things, YouTube, Google+, Facebook, Twitter. We're Geeks It Around on all of that. If you have anything for us, you can always give us a call and leave a message on our voicemail line. That number is 801-609-GOTR. Again, that is 801-609-4687. Until next week, we are Ghosts.
Wu-Tan Nate.